get everything set up. Oops. Still dying. All right, so let's work on suggestive, see where we are on that. All right. Oh, what just happened? Okay. Localhost 895. I'm not ready as I usually am. Let's see where we are. Nope. All right. So should have done one of those things where you leave a test behind reminding you of what you should work on next. All right. So all right, here we go. So what we were doing is allowing an admin user, let me get this thing in here. Allowing an admin user to associate an accepted topic with an episode. And the benefit of that is it moves out of what's currently being called accepted topics into something, probably just the list of topics related to this particular episode. So we need to set up the relationship between a topic and an episode. And then on the accepted topics page, we got to allow the ability for you to trigger off that action happening. I actually kind of think, now that we think about it, I actually think I might have written a test for that. So let's take a look at that. This one's going to be a little bit Laravel-y, so let's take a look. This would have been admin episode test. There we go. So what we're going to say is, there we go. Test admins can schedule a topic for an episode. So what we're basically going to work to do is that posting to the episode route and then schedule topics, we want to add that topic in there. And then we want to see is if we get API episodes ID scheduled topics, then we want to be able to see topic ID 5 in that list. So this needs to post somewhere, and it looks like it's actually posting somewhere already. So let's take a look at what this is posting to. Sorry, just 1 second. All right, so let's go to our network tab. We want to see the things that have happened. So when I click that one over, we see this right here. So this is actually already doing the post that we wanted, which is posting this payload, which is just topic ID of 2 over to API episodes. Oh, it's not quite working. It's posting over API episodes undefined scheduled topics. So before we write this route, let's go over to Vue, our app. You got to figure out what component this is in. This is actually happening in, and fix the fact that that undefined is not pulling an ID correctly. Not a particularly chatty crowd tonight, or if there's nobody here. I don't know how to do this. There you go. All right, so, hey, there we go. A couple folks in here. All right, so, actually this has been bothering me for a while. I want to swap this out so we see suggested topics. We can just require this in here. Don't need to variabilize it beforehand. Accepted topic, same thing. Dashboard, so we're just doing a little bit of cleanup here. create episode right there. Okay, so in theory that shouldn't have made any significant changes. We don't want to go back to our test. So what we want to do is find that particular component that we're on. This is the accepted topics component. So instead of topics.view, there should be a post. Oh, nope, it's the topic episode scheduler. So there's a post in here, and it's posting to episode slash undefined slash scheduled topics. And what we want it to be posting to is episode slash ID slash scheduled topics. So when we're getting this episode, for some reason it's not getting the data correctly. My guess is that it has something to do with the scope that's available to this listener, because it's watching for, no, that's not a listener, it's watching for changes to episode. I wonder, what are the arguments that are passed? It'd be nice if you're listening to a change on episode, you get the whole episode passed in. I'm also wondering if doing a V model of episode is going to throw this off. Oh, okay. Got it. So, So it really would be val, right? No, topic ID is val. So how do we get the episode ID out of this? Actually, it kind of makes me think the topic ID shouldn't be val. Topic ID should be this.topic.id. And then the val should be this episode ID. So we've got to do a little test on that to make sure. So the topic ID should be first, and the episode ID should be second in this console log. All right, so first of all, do we get anything? Console log 1 and 3. All right, so I've got to actually figure out, do we have the topic ID available anywhere in this? Probably not. So let's do a quick episode ID. And then the topic, let's put its ID real quick too. Okay, so this is episode or topic 1, and we're going to assign it to episode 4. So we should see, I think, 1 space 4, right? Topic, episode, 1 space 4. What do we see? Console log. We see 1 space 4. Okay, so it is now correct. So we can undo that stupid crap there. So it is now posting correctly to API/episode/floor/scheduled topics, and it should have a body of topic ID 1. Fantastic. All right, the view aspects of this are now working correctly. Yes, we have a dispatch coming to tell the parent topics, or parent components, that this topic is different, has been changed, and so it's no longer in the accepted topics list. But for right now, I just want this to actually work on the functional side. So what we want, this is basically a test that ensures that, hey, Ricardo Ramirez R. This is a test showing that this post works correctly. So what we want to do, it's going to have to be a user. So let's do our usual stuff here. We're going to create a user. We're going to assign ourselves like a session login as this user. And just FYI, that a normal kind of like stateless API, we wouldn't be using sessions like this, but in this one we are because I don't care. So login is that user, and we're going to post to API/episodes/ID, so we'll have to do that in a second, /scheduled topics. And so this right here. And this is some ID that we need to figure out. So what the heck? And then, so this is episode ID. So we're basically making up things, and we're going to have to ensure that there's at least one episode, an episode with the ID of 1 and a topic with the ID of 2. So what are we posting? We're posting topic ID to be topic ID. So in theory, that's enough. And then what we want to do is we want to this get API episodes episode ID, scheduled topics, and then we want to this, and the C versus assert JSON versus all those people. It's actually very confusing to me. I always get it mixed up. I want to see if I have any. All right, this visit, this C JSON is what we have here. So we're going to try that for starters, but I'm a little skeptical that that ended up being the right fit. But let's just try it. I'm guessing we're actually just going to see this because it's just going to be a list of topics. So ID of topic ID. Okay. All right, what are we seeing? A request to this fails, status code 404, great, because we haven't actually written that route. So now we want to go into the API, and we are in episodes, and it's a resource, but this is not something that's managed by that resource, and this is actually a separate resource. So I'm thinking it's something like what are we looking at? Scheduled topics. So we're really treating it as a separate route. But right now it's not actually a full resource, it's just post. So let's just do this at store. That's all we're doing right now. Episodes ID, scheduled topics. Same thing we did here. Topics ID votes goes to topics votes controller. Topics vote controller. This is pluralization is a little confusing here. Episode, here I said topics controller and topics vote controller. I think it might be topic votes. It might be more appropriate for this to be topic votes controller because it feels better for this to be the plural of the actual thing we're working on. And the actual thing we're working on is an episode scheduled topic, not an episodes scheduled topic. So I might have to change this one. Right now, this is what I want to call it. So then we run our test again, and it's going to say the controller does not exist. And sometimes when you're doing this integration testing, application testing with this visit, you don't get enough information here. And then you end up having to tail the logs like that. And then run it again, and then see what you get. And then this gives you more information. Yep, there you go. Controller does not exist. Great. Oh, what just happened? Oh, okay. Hey, how's it going? So what we do is, gosh, I'm running out of, and what was it? Schedule, wait, no. Episode scheduled topics controller. And then, and then you run your test, and then the next problem you run into is it says, well, I don't have that method. And again, it's swallowing all the exceptions in that thing there. So one of the things we've done in the past is actually make it stop swallowing the exceptions, so you actually get a useful exception here. But again, right now, come up here and it says, wait, that's strange. Oh, API, that's why. I made a new controller that's not an API namespace. Oh, I always forget to make it do the sparse version. Okay, now let's try it again. I expect the error we're going to see this time is doesn't have that method, although I'm not seeing that. Strange. Method not allowed exception. All right. So we do get this sometimes. Sometimes you get useful information, sometimes you don't. Okay. So we're posting. Why isn't it posting? Yeah, post to API. Oh, because the second one is the get. That's why. So we need to allow it to get to. There we go. That's better. So we're actually getting something back from it, but it's not useful. So let's give them some temporary, val JSON. Oops. And now it just can't find the fragment it wants. So in theory, we could just give it what it wants by saying ID, 2. Of course, that's, not smart because that's not actually what we need. So what do we actually want here? Well, we want to get all scheduled topics from episodes. What we just basically say is our first parameter is going to be episode ID. Can't remember if we've been doing route model binding on this one or not, so let's find it first for now. And then scheduled topics, right? Except it's a, so then we need to give episode a scheduled topics, which is almost the same as topics. Wait, actually, what is the difference? I guess topics is the same thing, because scheduled topics, there's no reason for it to have anything related to it other than, I wonder when that happened. When did I assign topics to a episode? User has topics. Yeah, kind of think I might have been doing some preemptive coding, which is probably not good because I don't know how far I got into it. So essentially we want to say, well, you want to list off all the topics that are related to episode ID that we have based on this particular route. So let's see what we get now. Right, episode not found. Oops. What is going on? I really need to bind this back to a keyboard shortcut. Model not found acceptance. All right, so it couldn't find that episode because we haven't, probably because we haven't actually put any episodes in there yet. I only got a couple more minutes, both because I need to go to sleep and because this is blowing up my head. All right, so it's giving us a model not found exception because we haven't actually created that episode, right? So episode equals factory episode class create. And then we want to create a couple topics. I think you can do this to say, there's a way to choose how many you're creating. I think this is the way you define, yeah, that's the way you define what kind of a thing it is. So for now, we're just going to do this. Okay. And then right now they're not associated. So another thing we should do is assert that yeah, so I guess I was getting the feel that you could do that, but the weird thing about that is it's weird that you can have two different parameters here, one being the number of times you're creating it, or number of things you're creating, and the other being the shortcut, but I guess it's just one of those magic ones. So for now, we'll keep it like this because it's a little bit clearer, but I will play around with that another time. Thank you, friends. And then down here, we should also be asserting that topic 2 is not present in accepted topics list. Times, that feels cleaner. Yeah. All right, so let's see what we got here. Okay, so they're not associated here. This should associate it. We should now see it here. All right, if you create an episode, it needs to be associated with the user. So you need to make it instead of creating it, and then you need to say user episodes, save episode. Okay. Now, topics need to be associated with the user too. That makes sense. I can't remember if it's save then array or save many in an array. We'll learn. And y'all will tell me 15 seconds later. Yep, okay, so it must be save many. See, too late. I need to figure out how to turn off the lag so that you guys can actually help me before I discover the fix myself. Let's try save many. Oh, that broke something. No subject column topics. Okay, so that's what I was expecting. This is the point at which we're not actually, we have yet to define the ability for a topic and an episode to be related. So now let's do it. So I think it doesn't have to be anything special other than just relating them, because I think the only way I can think of relating an episode to a topic is this scheduled topic concept. So I think that's all we need to do. So let's go do it. Database migrations. And then we want to go to the topics table and give it an episode ID. Okay, we've made some progress. So the problem we're running into now is that nothing actually happens when you store it because we haven't actually written it yet. So what do we want to do? We want to get episode from ID, and then we need to get topic from request body topic ID, and then we need to attach, topic to episode. And then after this, I gotta go. All right, so topic equals we don't want to do that. We actually want to get both of these from the current user. Well, the topics don't have to be the users. The episodes. There's this weird concept of ownership in this app because right now only a single admin can be running on it, but later we need to be able to kind of have multiple people having their episodes. But until we do that, hey, happy to hear it. Thanks for joining. Until we do that, I feel like I don't want to worry about scoping it to the current user because we're thinking like a single podcast can have multiple admins. And if that's the case, then they later will probably have to scope this to the currently logged in podcast, but right now every instance of this application will be for a podcast. There won't be multiple podcasts. There's no multi-tenancy right now. So this should be okay. The only thing this should be doing is ensuring that they're an admin, which was already happening. Let's make sure that's actually true. I might not actually be doing that yet. So, oh, see, I was actually doing that manually on a per route basis in the other ones. So let's do that for now. That doesn't feel like the best way to do it. So I think that's something we'll need to fix soon. All right. So we grab the episode based on the URL parameter. Grab the topic based on the body parameter. So let's do and then we want to return something. What do we want to return? Yeah, I mean, I can put it in the constructor of both because both of them seem to be scoping all of them, but, oh, no, not all of them are. Yeah, in this one we could. So, yeah. Trying to remember what what I did want to do is dig into what is the constructor of this look like. Or does it look like nothing? Is there no actual constructor? Yeah, I don't want to deal with it right now. Good thinking. We'll deal with it later. Okay. All right, so I don't actually know what should return from here, so let's just see if it works for now. Base controller. Yeah. We wouldn't want a base controller because only certain ones need that admin scoping, and it's like, as you can see in episodes, some of them need it, but then in the same controller, some of them don't. Yeah, that's the thing. Eventually it'll be something either like a middleware or some kind of access control layer or something like that. And I just don't want to deal with it right now because it's 3 minutes past when I said I was going to be done. I just want to get this one working. So the one thing we're missing here is this concept that it would not show up in the other one, in the accepted topics list later, which right now is not the case because none of the accepted topics type things are scoped to say if not associated with an episode at the moment. Okay, why are we aborting here? Just kind of step back for a second. All right. Request to set the topics failed, caused by HTTP exception. Why? Oh, it's aborting. Am I not? I guess I'm not an admin. That's why. Various, very serious things in the Stauffer house. Sorry, I can't see all y'all if you're chapping me. Okay, not right now. All right. Oh, did I not just find and use that? Okay, what's going on here? All right, found in episode scheduled topics controller. Oh, because I'm in the wrong thing for that. I'm sure y'all caught that 15 seconds later, you'll tell me. All right, so now we're getting some information back from it, and we actually have ID2 present. Mr. Bennett, what's going on? So, all right, so we're doing a test. I ran into this before, and it has to do with this CJSON, and those of you who just showed up, this CJSON thing has been causing me just so much pain. So much pain. Can't even tell you how much pain it's been causing me over time. So it is asserting that it cannot find the JSON fragment ID :2. Oh, you know what? That's actually not what it is. It's this problem that in 5.2 is fixed because I did a pull request. This guy. And this ID too is coming back as a string, but we're expecting it to be an integer. So what we want to do for all of your eloquent models until 5.2 is you want to cast the ID to an integer. So this particular one is on a topic. So go to our casts. I say ID integer. Let's just do it to episodes 2 so we don't run into this problem later. And I'll bring you all back. Oh, it worked. I felt like we had more pieces to do before it was going to work. Oh, because there's this to do and this to do, which we haven't handled. But the good thing about this is you now can basically associate, it actually now successfully associates a topic as being scheduled to be connected to this particular episode. So that was like the primary functionality. Yeah, there's a lot of wonderful things you can use casts. Don't judge me for this is how I'm Googling it. But this blog, this particular blog post, shows you integer, float, string, boolean, object, and array. And the object and array one are type hinting them being JSON, a JSON object and JSON array, which is great because it's basically allowing you to have not quite first class, but almost first class JSON, MySQL JSON columns. All right, so we are basically asserting that when you create a schedule of topic and pass information in, then when you list the scheduled topics for that episode, you're now able to see it. So real quick before I go, I know I'm late, I just want to go to the episodes page and show a list of its scheduled topics just to prove it out that it's functioning in the UI. We have some view errors here. Order by number, okay. So what I would like to do is go to this, which is the episodes.view, and see how easy would it be. We would have to have it nested. When will this app release? Suggestive or what? Because then we'd have to do like basically, you know, pseudocode for each this dot episodes get scheduled topics, or the HTTP thing would have to actually respond back with its scheduled topics nested, which we don't have time for right now. Oh, thanks. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Christmas break is coming, which means I will, on the one hand, have less time to work, and on the other hand, I will have more time to want to spend with my family. So basically, I only ever work on this when I'm screencasting. So I'd love to release that as it is right now, but it's just not viable right now. I mean, I guess in theory we could suggest it in all